Hello, everybody. I'm Terry Owens with the District Department of Transportation, better known as DDOT, and welcome to DDOT Delivers. Each week, we take you inside one of district government's largest agencies for a look at what we're doing to serve residents and visitors of the District of Columbia. Today, our guest is the Director of DDOT, Jeff Marootian. Director Marootian, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Terry. Great to be here.
So, you lead an agency of more than 1,000 people that touches the lives of people across the district. But when somebody stops you, you meet somebody and they say, "What do?" How do you describe your job?
It is tough to describe my job, and that's because we, as you said, at DDOT do so much, and it's so exciting for me to be a part of all of that we do. Everything from urban forestry to building some new infrastructure like bridges, to operating a bike sharing system. There's just so much that we do, and it's so exciting to be a part of it.
And so when you say DDOT, I think for all of the reasons you just mentioned, people get the sense that this really is a critical agency.
Yes, it's something that touches people's lives every day, and in some cases they're not even aware of it. When you step out of your house and walk into the sidewalk, or when you get in your car and you drive in the street, or when you ride a bike, you're not necessarily thinking about the men and women that help build that infrastructure, that help maintain that infrastructure. But that's the work that we do at DDOT every day.
You have the awesome responsibility of shepherding one of Mayor Bowser's signature initiatives. And I'm talking, of course, about Vision Zero, the program whose goal is to end all fatalities and serious injuries in the district. When you first heard about this movement percolating around the country, what did you think of it?
Well, I had heard about Vision Zero when I was working for Secretary Fox at the U.S. Department of Transportation, and it was something that a lot of cities were thinking about. And I was very excited when I heard that Mayor Bowser had committed in 2015 to be a Vision Zero city, and having had several conversations with her about it, I know how committed she is to eliminating roadway fatalities and serious injuries, and I feel honored to be able to help deliver that and to help advance our strategy as a city. There are a lot of moving parts, and it really, as we've found in the past year, it really involves every agency, and that's one of the things that I've been really proud of is our work in helping to collaborate with other agencies to help move the city forward in that respect.
It's the kind of thing that not only involves agencies, but I think it probably also has to involve all of the residents of the district. How do we enroll people in this idea so that they know that they've got a critical part to play as well?
Yes, it absolutely has to involve everybody, and that's one of the things that for us over the past year has been a great challenge, and one that we've accepted is to engage more with the public. And we've worked well with the advocacy community, who's been very focused on helping amplify and really helping get the word out about Vision Zero. And so I am excited to continue that work and get more people involved hands-on. And in some cases, it means we're going out to public meetings, we're doing new things to get our message out using social media, and that's what makes this work so interesting.
For the past couple of years now, you've also participated in a Vision Zero Summit that's put on by our friends over at WABA. Talk about why that kind of community engagement, something that's not sponsored by us, helps to support what we're doing not only in the district but the region.
That's right. Well, the Vision Zero Summit was just a few weeks ago. It was a great turnout. Folks from all across the region participated, and we got some great ideas from that. And to me, that's one of the things that I've taken really seriously, is hearing directly from the public, getting good ideas, and bringing those ideas to life. And that's one of the things that we did recently. As you know, we stood up the Vision Zero office at DDOT, and Linda Bailey, who's running that office, is really great at hearing public feedback and ideas and bringing them to life. And so we've already, just in her first few months on the job, have seen some great things coming out of that office.
Okay, in case you're just joining us, you're listening to DDOT Delivers, where we take you inside the District Department of Transportation to give you a sense of all that's going on there. Our guest today is Jeff Marootian. He's the Director of the District Department of Transportation. You touched on one of the biggest changes to what the agency is doing to address Vision Zero with the hiring of Linda Bailey. Why did you think that was the right direction to go to help move this initiative forward?
Well, it became very clear to me that we needed to have one person within the department who was responsible for coordinating not just all of our efforts internally within DDOT, but also across the government. And so the mayor took a few steps last fall to amplify and strengthen our efforts. And one of those things was creating a working group that is chaired by Deputy Mayor Donahue. And so now Linda at DDOT is is responsible for carrying forward all the deliverables and making sure other agencies are working towards their deliverables. And that to me just takes it to the next level. We at DDOT have been doing a ton of work around safety improvements, really across the agency, and having somebody who could communicate about those things and help spread the word and make sure that we were just continuing to evolve and grow was really my focus in hiring Linda. So we're absolutely thrilled that she's on board.
And I think it's probably also important that we stress that this is not something that's going to happen overnight. This is a long-term vision, and so instead of people just looking at sort of annual metrics and with the up and down of things that are going out on the roadway, try and characterize the program as not performing. How do you avoid that?
It's very difficult to measure and to communicate in some respects about this safety work. In some cases, we're talking about construction projects that take several years to get started, but that work, the complete shift in our thinking about safety is really what Vision Zero is about. And I have seen that shift happening at DDOT, that our focus now on all of our major projects is safety and really digging deep into them to ensure that we're considering all aspects and making sure a project really meets that Vision Zero goal is critical. And we see that work happening and will continue to happen at DDOT.
Well, we're going to get Linda in here. Certainly, we look forward to having a conversation with her about her vision and some of the things that she's doing. Standing up the Vision Zero office was just one of the things that you've done since taking over the agency. Another initiative that I think is really important is work you did around the community engagement team, created under this external affairs division that includes all of that: policy, community engagement, public information division, and Vision Zero. But community engagement in particular is something that you put a lot of focus on. Why is that?
Community engagement has always been very important to me. I started my career some 20 years ago in city government as an A&C commissioner. I am very committed as a resident of the district, committed to the core tenets of getting to know my neighbors and making sure that I'm doing everything that I can as a resident to help support the communities that I live in, that I work in. And so it was very important for me to make sure that DDOT had full representation in the community, that people could pick up the phone and talk to somebody, that they didn't have to call around just to get a simple answer. And so we at DDOT have an incredible call center where people can pick up the phone and get answers to a basic question. But for folks who have a more complex issue or something that involves interface with the ANC, I really wanted some place where people can pick up the phone ward by ward and just get that level of engagement. And so we stood up the community engagement team more than a year ago. I think it's been incredibly successful. We've been present at community meetings across all 8 wards of the district and have gotten some great feedback about that work. And again, have gotten some of our best ideas from residents, from the community. And that to me is what good government is all about.
So these guys are out there on the front line.
They are on the front lines. Yeah, and they have kept me busy too. We go to a lot of ANC meetings and civic association meetings, especially now presenting about the mayor's budget and about our work and what's reflected in that budget that DDOT is doing. And that's good stuff. And I look forward to doing more of that.
Yeah, I don't think people have a full appreciation of the level of effort and commitment that goes into the work that you do. I mean, I see your calendar, so I know about all these late-night community meetings that you're hitting, and it's not just one day a week, it's multiple nights a week, and that's how you've got to show up in this role, isn't it?
It is, and I have so much respect for the folks who are out there every day doing, running for ANC, running civic associations. They're working hard. In some cases, that's their second full-time job. And so when they pick up the phone or they email us and reach out, they're expecting a level of courtesy and attention that reflects that we understand how much work they're putting into it. And I love going to community meetings. I love interacting with the public, sometimes hearing tough feedback, but making things happen. And I think we're able to do that really well with our community partners.
All right. You're listening to DDOT Delivers on 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov. I'm Terry Owens. Our guest today is DDOT Director Jeff Marootian. We're going to take a quick break, come back in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. This is DDOT Delivers on 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov. I'm Terry Owens. Our guest in studio today is none other than the man himself, Jeff Marootian, Director of the District Department of Transportation. That's right. I said we got the big boss in studio today and getting a great opportunity to hear about his priorities for moving the agency forward. Director Marootian, we were talking about people on the front lines before we went to break, and certainly our community engagement team is doing that. But there's also another set of people out there on the front line, and we can't talk about it without talking about our traffic control officers, our safety technicians, and the kind of work that they do every day in support of this community.
Yeah, Terry, it's heartwarming for me. All the time I'm getting emails and calls, people wanting to just say how appreciative they are for the safety tech, the school crossing guard that's at their school every morning, and how much that they reflect good things about our agency. And that's one of the things that I was with the safety techs this morning, and I told them, there is no better representative for us in the community than our safety technicians and our traffic control officers. And I'm incredibly proud of the work that they do and continue to find ways to support them. They have some of the toughest jobs in our agency and probably in city government.
I was going to say, I don't know that everyone fully appreciates some of the challenges these men and women face on a day-to-day basis. What would you say to the community that's out there engaging with our folks on the front line in sometimes dangerous circumstances about respect and care for these district government employees? I
think it's important to always remember, that these are men and women who are literally standing in traffic. They are putting their own lives on the line in order to protect, in the case of our safety techs, young people, students crossing the street. And so it is of the utmost importance that we all treat them with respect, and that we really, really just consider how difficult of a job they have. And so I know that they are very much appreciative of that, and they see how appreciative people are when they're there in those intersections doing a very tough job.
And one sign of the critical importance of the role that they play is just the staffing up that we've done along those lines in recent years.
Yes, we continue to hire. We recently got to a full complement of safety technicians, which is a first for us, and so that's exciting. And we have coverage now across all the schools that have asked for safety techs, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to keep that coverage.
Okay, so we don't have a whole lot of time with you, so I want to make sure that we cover as much ground as we can. How about we do? You've done this before. Let's play Lightning Round.
Right.
How many topics can we hit in one segment? Let's start with the South Capitol Street project and why that is such a big deal for DDOT.
Well, we're building a bridge, but beyond that, we are making a really just incredible connection. And I am excited about the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge project because of all of the features that it will have. But even before it gets completed, we have just a great community partnership. We've got a team out there that's working to build this bridge and to make it a meaningful experience for the entire city. And so it's just such a great project, and I'm honored to be able to be a part of it.
Let's see. Folks have probably heard about the K Street Transit Way. That's another big one in this year's budget. What exactly is the K Street Transit Way?
Well, Mayor Bowser has really committed us as an agency to helping do everything that we can to improve transit service, bus transit service for the district. And so her budget reflects that in a number of ways. Of course, we know that free Circulator service is one of the components of it that people are excited about and are really thrilled that we're taking that bold step. The K Street Transit Way helps that free Circulator service be better, and it helps WMATA buses and other buses along the way by really improving transit service along that key corridor. We have known for a long time that K Street has been confusing. It's had safety issues. It's plagued by inefficiency. And this project that the mayor has championed will really take K Street to the next level.
Give us a sense of what this will look like once it's done.
Well, the public can expect that the center of K Street will essentially be a dedicated bus lane, and those service lanes that are on both sides of K Street currently will go away. So that confusion where people don't know how to make a turn, pedestrians are often compromised, all of that will go away with this effort. While we also beautify the area, we're going to put in new landscaping and new drainage and really upgrade that street that was designed so so long ago and really has served its purpose.
If you've been around the district any time at all, you have heard of the infamous Dave Thomas Circle, North or New York Avenue, Florida. It is a traffic challenge, but there's an effort now underway to address that situation. What are we doing?
That's right. The mayor's budget reflects our intent to redo Dave Thomas Circle. It is an intersection that is deeply troubled, to put it lightly, and so we are currently working and are about to begin our public engagement around this project to make that intersection safer and better for everybody, for motorists, for pedestrians, and for cyclists. It's long overdue. The mayor recognizes that, and that's why she's committed us to fixing it once and for all.
You also said, we talked a bit ago about some of the other things you were excited about this budget, and you said there were some streetscape projects that really got you jazzed. What was it about these initiatives?
Well, getting back to what we were talking about Vision Zero, we've got some projects that the community has been asking for a long time, and they are at their core safety projects, and they have a number of other components too. They'll beautify certain areas. They'll add facilities in some cases. They'll add crosswalks. Or they'll add traffic signals, and really make areas safer. And we prioritize that in our budget this year. So we've got projects like the Martin Luther King Avenue Streetscape Project or the Southern Avenue Streetscape Project that have incredibly important safety components to them, and we're really enthusiastic about delivering those kinds of projects really across all 8 wards of the district.
One of the projects the mayor delivered on was one that was controversial for many years. Nobody thought that it was going to perform the way it has, and here we are 3 years into the DC streetcar, and it is just the ridership numbers are impressive at the least. How do you talk about that project now?
People love the streetcar. We've seen the ridership continue to grow, and of course there's a lot of excitement around our eastern extension of the streetcar, which is a project that's underway now and is funded in the mayor's budget. And this is a way for people to utilize transit service that doesn't require them to get in their car and go from point A to point B. And it's a great thing that we're doing for the city, and a great opportunity to help continue to drive this project for us.
Now, for people not familiar with that eastern extension, give us a sense of what that's going to do, what kind of connectivity it's going to provide.
Yeah, so we will be building the streetcar to the east down Benning Road, a little under 2 miles, and that project now is currently being designed. It will take several years to construct, but that process for us is ongoing, and we'll engage very closely with the community to talk about all of the impacts and all of the great amenities that are going to come as a result of this project. One of those things, for example, is some reconstruction of some of the roadways, some of the bridges that are along the Benning Road alignment. So the community will be getting a number of benefits as a result of this project.
We've got just about 2 minutes left in this segment, but I don't want to let you get out of here without touching on Pave DC.
Yes.
And how this is just really open the doors of the agency to people who are wondering about the kinds of road work that's going on, where it's going on, when it's going to happen. Talk about that initiative.
Yes, well, Mayor Bowser talks a lot about the condition of our local roads, and we know that they need a lot of work. And so the budget reflects our intent to fix those roads over the next 5 years. We'll be aggressively deploying our resources in order to continue to pave and reconstruct our local roadways and also our major arterial roadways. The thing that we are doing differently this year is communicating with the public about where we are. We've got a website, ddot.dc.gov/pavedc, where the community can see where we're working. They can see the list that we're working off of. So it gives us a little bit more transparency and accountability, and shows the public in real time where we are.
We need an hour with the director. It's just not fair to try and get him in here in a half hour and cover it all. But we're going to do our best. We're going to take a quick break. We're talking with Jeff Marootian. He's the director of the District Department of Transportation. You are listening to DDOT Delivers on 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov. I'm Terry Owens. We're back right after this. Welcome back. This is DDOT Delivers on 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov. I'm Terry Owens. Our guest in studio today is Jeff Marootian, Director of the District Department of Transportation. Director, one of the most exciting things about working at DDOT, I imagine, is getting to see some of the innovation that comes out of the agency that people across the country pick up on and follow. We were just talking recently with a television crew from Germany Germany that was interested in the dockless initiative. Is that exciting for you?
Absolutely. We have a team of incredibly forward-thinking men and women who have come up with some great ideas, and in some cases, those ideas are now being utilized by folks all over the city. It's great to be able to talk about those things and to celebrate that work, and to continue to help foster some of those ideas that are growing in our department.
Speaking of the dockless program, how's it moving?
It seems to be moving pretty well. There's a lot of interest, and one of the things that I'm focused on really is thinking about how our capital Bikeshare system and our dockless mobility program really work together. We've seen the number of people using bikes and dockless equipment continue to increase, and I think that's a great thing for our city, and we'll continue to help find ways to really incentivize people's use of transit and other active transportation modes.
Another area where DDOT is really innovating is with our use of curb space. You guys have come up, the team has come up with some really exciting ways to make sure that we're managing that space in a way that not only speaks to our concerns about safety, but also traffic congestion. Talk about what we're doing there.
We started this program about a year ago where we deployed pickup and drop-off zones across the district, taking areas that were otherwise, in most cases, metered parking and converting them to a use that really meets the current time. 5 years ago, Lyft and Uber were really just starting as a concept, and now we know their prevalence and certainly other ride-hailing services as well that have come into the market. And so what we've tried to do is create ways for them to operate more safely and efficiently across the district. That has worked very well, and we're beginning to replicate that in more locations as we've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the community.
That has got to be a delicate balancing act. You talk about impacting parking in some of our really high traffic areas. How are you conveying that message to communities and getting buy-in?
Well, we focused a lot on commercial areas where there's a need to just consistently see a high turnover of patrons, and so creating spaces where a pickup and drop-off service may be able to make 500 or 600 stops in a day versus a limited number of people who are parking at parking meters. The equation for them becomes a no-brainer when they see that high level of turnover, and so that's the conversations that we're having out there in the community, and by and large they've been embraced. What we have really tried to get away from are circumstances where a ride-hailing service or a taxi will drop somebody off in the middle of the street because there's no place for them to safely pull over.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that definitely speaks to what Vision Zero is about. Okay, it's the time in the show where we drop the veil and we go behind the scenes. And I tell folks all the time that this is really about providing some inspiration for people who are out there looking for career opportunities, not quite sure where they want to go, and might see transportation as someplace they land. And so I try and get a sense of how you got to where you are in this agency. Were you the 12-year-old growing up saying, I'm going to be the guy driving the train one day?
No, I was not that 12-year-old.
So what was the path you took? You touched on it a little bit earlier, but what was your path?
My path, I moved to D.C. in the late 90s to go to GW, and I fell in love very quickly with the district. I decided to stay there and do some grad school, and when I left GW, when I finished my master's degree, I really wanted to work in city government, and so I applied to be a Capital City Fellow and was accepted and started working at the Metropolitan Police Department, which was supposed to be a 6-month rotation. It turned into about 5 years of working there, doing a number of different roles, but one of them was really this community engagement role, getting in to community meetings, helping to build relationships, constructive working relationships among police in the broader community. And at some point, I got an opportunity to work for DDOT. The then director, who was also a Capital City Fellow, Mecca Moname, was very encouraging of me coming over to DDOT. And so I had that great opportunity. And of course, the rest is history. I fell in love with the agency, the work that we do, the folks who are at the department. And so I was able to stay there for about 4 years and had the once in a lifetime opportunity to go work for the re-election campaign of Barack Obama, which led me to then work in the Obama administration, and had the great opportunity to work for Secretary Fox at the U.S. Department of Transportation. Kind of like a dream come true, but it wasn't the dream I had as a 12-year-old. But as I was living it, I was like, wow, this is just incredible. And so of course I was absolutely thrilled and honored to be able to serve in Mayor Bowser's administration, and it's been a great experience. I love this agency. We do such great work, and the men and women who do that work are just so much fun to work with and work alongside, and I'm really just proud to be able to be a part of it.
Well, I got to tell you, I get a little jealous every time I walk into your office and I see that picture of you and Michelle Obama.
I love that picture.
I get goosebumps. What was that like?
You know, it was to be a part of the Obama administration, to help deliver on President Obama's transportation agenda was just such an incredible honor. And so, of course, you know, meeting the Obamas and just being in their space for 5 seconds was an honor. And I'll never forget the first time that I met them. And I just, you know, it's everything you think about when you meet the President of the United States. You have all these things in your mind that you want to say, and then the moment happens and you just, you know, nothing comes out. That was what it was for me meeting Michelle Obama, for sure.
Yeah, that's most of us. So for those of us who are thinking about a career at DDOT, why would somebody want to come to work for that agency?
Well, DDOT does really neat stuff, and we touch people's lives in a way that the average person doesn't necessarily think about when they think about a transportation agency. But in many cases, we have the power to really help people and make their lives better, make communities better and stronger. And it's great to just be a part of that work. And so I think we've got a number of unique opportunities at our agency that a number of folks could come in and join the team. So I would encourage everybody to look at the job postings that we have. If you have any curiosity about it at all, just reach out to us. Come see us at a community meeting. See us at one of our many career fairs that we participate in. But we really love to engage directly with residents, especially those that are interested in potentially coming to work for us.
And you just never know. I mean, the range of different kinds of job opportunities at the agency is really impressive.
We do so many different things, and there's just a need for people on multiple levels with different skill sets, and it's great. And no matter what the job is, it's great to be a part of a team that does so much.
Well, this has been the fastest half hour yet. I am so grateful that you made some time for us today, Director Marootian. We appreciate you, and we hope you'll come back many more times to talk about all the great stuff that's going on at DDOT.
I can't wait to come back, Terry.
All right. You have been listening to DDOT Delivers on 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov. I'm Terry Owens. We hope you enjoyed today's show. We hope you'll come back next week at the same time when we'll do it again, take you inside one of the district government's largest agencies for a look at all we are doing to serve the residents and visitors to the District of Columbia. I'm Terry Owens. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.